The stranger's note. The soft light of the autumn afternoon filtered through the library windows, casting a warm glow over the worn wooden shelves. Emma wandered down the aisles, her heart heavy. Her engagement had ended just a few days ago, and the sadness clung to her like a damp blanket. In search of solace, she had come to the library, hoping a self-help book might offer her some comfort or distraction. But as she scanned the shelves, nothing caught her eye. The titles blurred together, and her mind kept drifting back to the breakup. She almost gave up, until something unusual stood out, a book placed upside down on the shelf. The sight was odd enough to catch her attention. She reached for it. The medium-sized book felt solid in her hands. She flipped it open and, to her surprise, found a small note tucked inside the first page. The handwriting was elegant and neat, written in blue ink that gleamed slightly under the light. The message read, "If you picked this book because it was the only one that caught your attention, please read it. It's a wonderful read and will help you. It helped me too." Curiosity sparked in Emma. The note felt like a quiet nudge from someone who understood her pain. She tucked the note back into the book and decided to take it home. For the next 2 days, she was absorbed in its pages. The book was soothing, each chapter offering wisdom and comfort. It didn't erase her heartbreak, but it gave her something she hadn't felt in a while: peace. After finishing it, Emma smiled, thinking back to the mysterious note. She whispered, "Thank you," and placed the note on her desk, a keepsake of the strange yet kind recommendation. The book had done its job, and now it was time to return it. When she arrived at the library, she went to the counter and asked the librarian if it was possible to know who had checked the book before her. The librarian shook his head, explaining that they couldn't disclose that information. Disappointed but determined, Emma explained how she had found a note in the book and wanted to return it to the person who had left it. But the librarian's response startled her. He said, "That's not possible. We check every book before putting it back on the shelf." Emma's brow furrowed. "But the note was there," she insisted. "It must have been placed afterward," the librarian suggested with a shrug. Emma left the library, her thoughts spinning. If the note had been placed after the book was checked, then someone had intentionally returned to leave it, positioning the book upside down to ensure it would stand out. But who? The thought made her smile, a small act of kindness done by someone who understood how important it was to reach out, even anonymously. That evening, Emma sat at her desk, staring at the note again. She wondered about the person who had left it. The cursive handwriting was so careful, written with what seemed to be a fountain pen, the ink still fresh enough to gleam slightly. She also noticed a faint scent on the paper. Men's cologne. Her mind began to paint a picture. The note's author couldn't be a young college student. They didn't write in cursive or use fountain pens. This person must be someone older, perhaps a middle-aged man, someone with class, wisdom, and a heart that had weathered its share of storms. He had known sadness, but also how to offer comfort to others. The more Emma thought about it, the more her imagination ran wild. She pictured a man with silver streaks in his hair, someone gentle yet strong, wise but kind, someone who understood her sadness without needing to say a word. It was silly, she knew, but the thought warmed her. The next morning, Emma returned to the library with a plan. She had rewritten the same note she had found, adding her own touch. Before slipping it into the book, she sprayed the paper lightly with her perfume. She then placed the book upside down on the shelf, just as she had found it, and walked away, with a small, hopeful smile.